I think we are live right now. Welcome in everybody to episode 51 of Pick Our Brains. Give us a few seconds here to get things rolling. We'll be right with you. I actually brought a few topics for us, Max, and then we will, if we get some questions in the chat, we're happy to answer all of those.
I'm just trying to get. I'm just trying to get us live. Hold on.
Yep, no worries, no worries. Take your time. Who's going to be the first one in the chat? Do you think it's going to be Art Turner or Junkman? That's question number one.
I'm going with Revervica. I'm going old school.
Nah, it's going to be Art, but it could be Junkman.
Yeah, it could
Let's
be
see.
Junkman.
Let's see who's the first person in the chat today. We got two people. That's probably me and you, I suppose, watching. Welcome in, everybody, to episode 51 of Pick Our Brains. I have a couple quick topics, though they could be long topics, I suppose. And then we will gladly, as always, answer all your questions about book selling, book buying, book sourcing, all the different online platforms, bookstores, all that fun stuff.
Are you trying to surprise me? Because I don't see the topics.
Oh, but do you see the title?
No, hold on.
Oh, look at this. Bob Bibliomaniacal is number one in the chat. Nope, sorry.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
You see
Okay.
Bob or Rare Books? Because Rare Books, I think Bob beat you today. I see Bob as the first.
Yep.
Yep. Rare Books, you are a very close second, though. Okay, do you see the title of
I do.
the
What?
show?
Very apropos.
Yes, for a couple of reasons. Because I wanted to talk about my purchase with on Live Auctioneer with an auction house out of Connecticut. And then you can talk about this book you're selling with Doyle's. And then we need to, after that, I figured we'd get to the Whatnot talk in your big show last Wednesday, because that's
Ooh,
a huge
God,
topic.
forgot about that. I'm already
But
on to the next
I want to
one.
do the auction house topic first, because we
Okay.
if it was up to you, we would only talk about Whatnot, and I want to talk about other things too. I
Oh,
need to
you're in a mood today.
I need to hedge Max's
You're in a
personality.
mood today.
Sorry, I think I've been extra prodding towards Max today. I need to relax. I need to be extra nice for the rest of the day. And Jennifer Rosing says, I am number 3. Welcome in, Jennifer. I think that's a new name. Welcome to the show. Glad you could make it. And again, anyone, if you have any questions about book buying and selling, feel free to put them in the chat. If you want to know about a specific book, happy to answer that. So do you want to talk about the very special book that you're going to be selling with Doyle's?
Well, no. You can definitely go first. But
Okay.
I'm looking at the chat, and we had Art Turner in as a guest.
Yeah.
At one couple, I don't know, 4 months ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
I think we need to plan a day for Bibliomaniacal and have Bob maybe talk about his collection. That would be a fantastic show as well.
Oh, he'd be an amazing guest for Pick Our Brains.
Bob,
Absolutely.
we're gonna reach out to you, Bob.
Yeah, we need to plan on a show when we can do an extra long, like hour plus long show, because next week I'm going to be busy. I think I'm heading up north to buy a book collection. So I don't think we're going to have a show next week, but anytime after that, Bob, if
but
you're
we don't
free,
know for sure yet.
90% sure I'm going to be doing that. Yeah. As long as we don't get a crazy blizzard. Oh, Jennifer is Jenny Bez, who just bought some books from me on Whatnot like an hour ago.
Jenny Bez, will you stop stalking us, please?
So I appreciate it. We appreciate the Whatnot.
Us?
Yep, and Bob says that he would do that.
I would love to have Bob on.
Bob is unbelievably knowledgeable, especially with the juvenile kids books from the Victorian and Edwardian era and even mid 1900s. He's unbelievable.
Does Bob know that I'll be selling his collection when he's ready? Does he know that yet?
No, he's not. He's never going to sell. He does, and actually, he just started selling on Whatnot. Okay, let's get to the topics, and then we already have.
All right, you go first. You go first.
Okay, so if you go to Live Auctioneers and search books, they have some pretty incredible book categories. It's auction houses all over the country and all over the world. A lot of the biggest auction houses in the world use Live Auctioneers as one of their platforms. So there was an auction. I think it ended Saturday night. And there was a set of 48 leather-bound books that I bought. And I paid $250 for the lot. But then the kicker, and this is, you have to be careful. Obviously, I knew. But all of these auction houses, 90-some% of them have buyer's premium. And ridiculous buyer's premium. This one had a 28% buyer's premium. So I paid. Go ahead.
Do you have a screenshot of the listing that you could show everybody?
I could maybe pull it up on my phone.
Yeah, let's give you 10 seconds. That would be great if you
could see it. It was the auction barn out of somewhere in Connecticut. So talking about this, I'll give you guys a little background. Almost all of them on Live Auctioneers have buyer's premiums, and usually they're pretty aggressive. They're usually in the 20 to 25 or 30% range. Sometimes they're 10. Sometimes there's no buyer's premium. But in this case, it was 28%. So I paid $250 for the lot, plus $70 in buyer's premium, plus a $13 electronic payment fee, plus sales tax, which, you know, you have to submit your sales tax information to all these people. That was
Oh,
another.
wait, hold on, Bryce. Come here. Hold on. No one's. I got two things. This is Bryce. Say hello.
What's up, Bryce?
This is
Welcome
Bryce.
to Pick Our Brains.
Come on,
This is
come
our.
on, get in there.
There's not a lot of room.
I know, but we got to introduce you.
Hi.
Bryce, I want to do an announcement.
Okay.
Bryce, next week, get in the camera.
The camera's
Bryce-
moving, Max. The camera's moving.
Bryce will be doing his first book show on my channel next week. We're not sure what day, but it's going to be a midnight show.
Oh, dang.
And then
That's
we're gonna advertise him this week. So everyone, that's Bryce.
Welcome, Bryce. Nice to meet
How many
you.
years have you been with me?
I think we're going on 6.
6 going on 2. That's right. No more raises. That's it. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I feel very bad for Bryce. But okay. So here I'll show you the Live Auctioneers
There you
lot
go.
of 48 leather-bound books.
Yep.
About half of them were in French and about half were in English. They look to be in decent enough condition. So $250 plus the electronic payment fee and the buyer's premium and the sales tax. You know, you can submit your sales tax information, but $13, I'm not going to spend any extra time doing any extra BS. And then here's the kicker: is most of the companies doing auctions on Live Auctioneer don't do in-house shipping. They're not packaging up your items and mailing them for you. But this one, and most of them do have lists of, like, these are all our local packers. We can have our local UPS or FedEx store pick it up and package it. The UPS store and FedEx stores usually charge absolutely insane prices, unbelievably expensive to ship even one box. But then a lot of them have like pack and ship companies. So local businesses that will come pick up items and ship them to you. And they will usually ship any way you want it. They usually do medium mail, FedEx, UPS, ground, freight, whatever the heck you want. So I was able to reach out to one of the local pack and ship companies today, and they got me a quote. Now they're doing a rough estimate. They estimated that this would be 3 50-pound boxes, and it was going to cost me $250, though I think it's only going to be 2 like 35-pound boxes. So it's going to be a lot less than that. I'm estimating it's going to be in the $120 range, I think, based on their weight.
Are they quoting you labor or just the price of the shipping?
Nope, that was 3 boxes plus the packing and
The
picking
labor.
up.
Okay.
Yep, because they have to charge something to go pick it up from
Yes,
the
yeah,
place,
yeah.
and the packaging materials and the labor. Yep. So that was $250 all in, but their weight was way overestimated. So I'm assuming it's going to be closer to 120, but I guess I'll update you next week when I get the bill.
Okay, but so let's have fun here. So give us the estimated total of the $250 worth of books.
Oh, yeah, $250. Okay, I got.
You might have to make a short video on this for Instagram too.
Yeah, I have to find the invoice. So the invoice on my $250 purchase before the shipping was $351. So before, it's a $250 purchase turns into $350 plus shipping, which is a very much unknown. And that's anytime you buy on Live Auctioneers, it's very much unknown. You could probably get shipping quotes before you bid, but it's going to be a rough estimate. And again, most of the auction companies don't have in-house shipping. So you're going to contact these third-party ones, and then might be wasting your time, because if you don't win the auction, then you're wasting time emailing and calling all these companies. I just roll the dice and hope for the best. But you do want to see who they offer, because if they only offer their local UPS store or FedEx store, you could end up with hundreds of dollars in shipping fees. So we're at $350, and then I'm hoping shipping will be about $125. So that puts us at $475 for 48 volumes, $10 a pop. I think I'm going to do pretty darn well at that price.
But this makes me think that you need to do a funny video of you adding up the invoice of the $250 purchase with the same uniform and headgear you wore for the last one.
$250, $70 buyer premium, $13.87 in electronic payment fee plus the sales tax. Before you know it, it's $5,000 in your $250 purchase. Now it's gonna be $475, $500 maybe on my $250 purchase, which is I don't know. I mean, I'm going to do well, but this is when you're buying on anything on Live Auctioneer, which is a great source because there are some incredible
Mhm.
antique book lots and Easton Press book lots and stuff like that. There's tons of auction companies selling 50 Easton Press lots or
Are
bundles.
there now, are these going to be designated for an eBay commerce or a whatnot or a mixed commerce?
Um, I will probably pull a few for eBay, but most of them will be for whatnot.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of them are in French, and the French market on eBay isn't too strong. But the whatnot and the Instagram decor, I could probably do some bundles on Instagram too because
Sure.
they love French books, they love Swedish books, which are tougher to sell on other
Right.
platforms.
This goes into the practice of you doing your, I mean, not eBay to whatnot flips, but live auctioneer to eBay and whatnot flips.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and I've always
yeah, this
like
is one of the ways that we've talked about that you source, and
yeah,
people need to be aware of that.
yeah, and I know people like JFed and different people in Paper Gold have sourced, but it's more difficult. Ideally, if you could find them locally and pick them up, or find someone local to pick them up and ship them to you, but it's more time consuming and it is a crazy hassle to do the shipping option on Live
And
Auctioneer.
how much time? I mean, we'll just go by the day. How much time are you spending sourcing through via other platforms? Is it an hour? Is it a half hour?
I would say I probably spend an hour a day, maybe a little more on eBay. Again, I would like to source more on Live Auctioneer. They have the best antique book lots you will find anywhere. Um, but again,
Right.
it's a pain in the butt to deal with buying on Live Auctioneer. But I do spend an hour plus every day buying stuff on eBay and
Uh,
searching. And
is there a time better than other times? Is morning a great time, or does it not matter?
no, I do it all day. I get email alerts for certain things like leather Bibles and stuff. I get emails alerts on eBay every morning. I get like 70 or 80 of them, and maybe find a few decent things to buy or bid on or make offers on every morning. But then it's just going and searching like Charles Dickens sets
Mhm.
and Shakespeare and old leather books and a lot of leather books or book sets or Victorian books or stuff like that is kind of my main way to do it.
And part of that, I'm guessing, I know we've talked about it. Part of that is because of geography.
Yeah.
You're not in South Florida like I am, where books are a little bit more plentiful. So you have to do other things to garner those books. Yeah.
Yep. I do source multiple collections, local collections, people reaching out to me. I mean, there's people reaching out to me almost every day, but a lot of times, like one lady today called, she had some magazines and she had some vintage like spelling and reading kids books, but
Oh,
they were in
cool.
rough condition.
Mhm.
So worthless for the most
Yeah.
part. And
Yeah.
and depending on the magazines, also probably worthless. And that's most of the people that reach out to me. Um, Occasionally I will have a huge score of good antique books or Eastern Press locally, but it's tough around
Yeah.
here to find
Interesting.
good
And
stuff.
we do have some questions. I know Alex Scott had a question. I'm going to hit it right now
Okay.
because
Yep.
hey
Go
guys,
ahead.
what do you? This is a great question. We've talked about this so many times too.
Hmm.
And Alex is also new. Alex is new to Paper Gold, so this is a great question for him as well. Um, what do you do with inventory that you've had listed for a long time, or inventory that isn't selling? Do you wholesale it to someone else? I think there's multiple levels to this question.
Yeah.
I-
Well,
First, what is old inventory? How old is old inventory?
what do you think?
Uh,
Anything over a year? Is that what you consider to be old for
to
eBay
me, no.
listings?
I'm 3 to 4 years, maybe
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
But again, and we've talked about this before, when you have 15 to 20,000 items listed, you can have older inventory. Um, and if people do check my eBay store, they'll see that this stuff still sells every day. Sometimes things have to be listed for a long time. And yeah, you are waiting for that one buyer out there. Sometimes that's just the case.
Yeah. Books is one of those unique things that, yes, there's people that will take 5 or 10 years to sell a book. Whereas if you're selling clothing or electronics, like if it's a year old, it's already the old style or whatever, and
Right.
people don't want it anymore. But books are one of those things that booksellers are comfortable having it sit for years. Though I do worry that the eBay system, after your item is 6 months or a year old and it's had hundreds of views and it's never sold and never got you any offers, I think eBay's like, well, this is a piece of crap that's never going to sell. We're not even going to worry about showing it off anymore. And you're not going to get any views after 2 years of a book being listed. I know you do with promoted listings. That's
Yeah, I was
pushing
going
your
to say
items back
that
up.
because of promoted listings, I'm certainly selling more 2, 3, 4-year-old books than I ever had before. And I would even say that I'm probably selling half of my sales every day are from books that people would have said was stale listings previous, but because of eBay's promoted listings campaign, they're being resuscitated into a new life. And you
Yeah.
know, I marvel at this campaign because it really does work. But this again goes back to, you have to buy intelligently. If you don't buy fiscally responsible, then you can't do a promoted listing. But if you do buy or you get free books, you can promote all you want.
Yeah, this is a really awesome question because
Yeah.
historically you would do a markdown manager and sort by your
Yep.
oldest listings, and you do a bigger sale on your older items. But now Max is doing, he's going to his 2 to 3 year old books and 3 to 4 and 5 year old plus listings and ramping up the promoted listings to help get that bump and help it a lot more likely to get sold than doing nothing. If
Yeah.
you have a 5 year old listing and you're not doing nothing, it might only get 3
Right.
views for the month and have no chance of selling.
Right, but I would also say to Alex, and we've done this experiment with other paper golders before. If you have books that you think or you're not sure if they're good books to sell, then why don't you put them at 99-cent auction? Going back to you now, 99-cent auction. Take 20 of them on a Sunday. Take 20 of those books that you're not sure about. Go 99-cent auction 7 days or 10 days like Kent. And if they don't sell for 99 cents or they sell for 1.99 at the end of 7 days, they probably were never going to sell. So thank God you move them and get rid of them.
Yep.
So again, and I feel stronger about this as my experience goes on, but don't be afraid to experiment. They're just books. Stop being afraid to let them go.
Yep. If you've had a $50 book listed for 3 years, it's not making you any money. It probably isn't gonna. So do a 99-cent auction or a $9.99 auction. And if it doesn't sell, that probably tells you something about the quality of the item or the desirability of the item. And when I used to have 1,000 listings, I would do that. I would pull books that have been listed for years and do an auction, and they would do great, or they would do horrible and maybe not even sell at a 99 cents. In which case, I maybe shouldn't have listed it as a buy it now in the first place.
And for those of us that do buy it nows, we all have stale listings because we're all better booksellers now than we were 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago. And when you develop a better eye as you get more experienced, some of those books that are questionable from 3 years ago they probably weren't good, but in a 3-year eye, they seem pretty decent and had a chance. But even in my inventory, I have inventory that I now look at and go, that wasn't the smartest. That was more of a wing and a prayer. Will somebody buy this than an actual, I think somebody will buy it.
And you could take a bunch of your old inventory, try to trade it into a local bookstore, or occasionally me and Max will pull stuff. I'll pull stuff that doesn't sell on eBay and put it on Whatnot, and people love it.
But also don't spend too much time trying to squeeze the blood from the stone there. If it's a $3 book, you don't need, just get rid of it and move on and go get yourself a $20 to $40 book.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
I mean, how often do we shake our heads at people trying to squeeze pennies out of books? I mean, too often.
Well, I will say I've been trying to squeeze pennies out of Reader's Digest, and I made a few pennies, but probably not enough to make it worth me trying too much more in the future.
Well, I would also say to you, not worth the amount of time we've talked about selling those either. I mean,
Well,
how much time and how long have we been talking about it?
yeah. And I've got $9 for some, I got $3 for some, and some didn't sell. I will continue to try because you never know. There's going to be a day where they take off and I make $50 on Reader's
Unless
Digest.
it's a purple one.
Yeah, true. And I'm not going to go out of my way to source them, but if they come in, I will attempt to sell them. All right, the content reposter from the Philippines, very cool. Um, Books that were printed in the Philippines do well because there are very few sellers based here in the Philippines. Yeah, that's a great tip. Yep, absolutely. That local stuff, Philippine printed stuff, I'm sure would also do incredibly well in the U.S. You should talk to Max about selling some down in Florida.
Yeah.
Ryan Buccaneer just met a lady in a parking lot for books, kind of like a drug deal. Yeah, yeah. Facebook Marketplace, you can do those sketchy deals where you pull up next to some lady's car and you're like, are you Linda? Oh, are you Kent? Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm here for the books. Very awkward.
Well, can Ryan tell us what type of books he just got?
He probably could. Yep.
Put in the
Great
chat,
question.
Ryan.
Art Turner wants to know what is the goal of 2026 that's not directly tied to eBay or whatnot stats.
Oof.
What do you think?
Wow.
I mean, I think for you, you would like to expand your, I know it's whatnot, but it's not whatnot stats related. You want to expand to either so you could be doing multiple whatnot shows or you could hire a crew of people like you just said with Bryce. That's something that's completely new. There's a few other people that do that have a crew of people selling. But for now, you are the whatnot personality, the person that talks about the books and sells the books. But that's something. Otherwise, is there anything else like you wanted?
My goal, it's a great question. And my goal is not even tied to my bank account. My goal is to see my paper golders, and I'm not going to release this yet specifically, but I'm going to be giving them a challenge to do something they've never done before in 2026, but I'm going to make it a financial challenge to them. So my goal is going to be tied to my paper golders and that having them do better in business.
Interesting. Well, I will say this is something me and you have talked about for many, many months, but I started hiring my nephew on Sundays for a few hours, and we talked about it for probably a year and a half. Yeah, maybe 2 years. We met in March, so we're coming up on 2 years. And I do have like with my nephew, things are going very well, and I've taught him how to take better pictures and do better with the shipping and packaging and stuff. And he's getting pretty good at that, and it's only 4 weeks in. So this has given me the confidence that I could hire someone else and teach them how to do at least those two projects. And I think before like I could teach him how to do, right now he's just doing the bubble mailer envelopes, but I could easily teach him how to package other packages. And this has given me the confidence that I could teach someone else to do those things as well.
And I don't know if people really, unless they've been around paper gold for a while, I don't know if they understand how big of a momentous shift this is for you. Even though it's family, we've had extensive conversations over years about you getting a little bit of help.
Yeah, I've been a one-man business for 12 or 13 years now, and I just work an insane amount of hours. But my hope is to continue to probably work long days. But if I could use this employee to increase my eBay and whatnot numbers, it's definitely worth it. And maybe even take over some of my bookstore stuff, so I could maybe even take a day off or something, So
You're
that's my goal.
Seller. Every day is a vacation.
I would maybe like to enjoy my summer. Last summer I took almost no days off and had no fun. So I also want to get into gardening, if that's not book, eBay, and whatnot related. I want to have a big garden this summer. Let's see. Alex Scott says great context. RFC says you can also change the title and description. That can breathe new life into a book that has been sitting for too long. Oh yeah, that's true. If you want to change up the potential, I mean, people have had all kinds of theories about delist and relist and sell similar and stuff. I know we've had all kinds of people talking about the success with ending an item and selling similar or relisting it. And it does kind of make sense that if you end an item and relist it, if that's in my watch item, I'm getting an email that my item that I'm watching is getting relisted. So it has potential to get some eyes on my item and make me as a potential buyer to think about it again, or selling similar or relisting, it's showing up on the newest listed. If you have a Bible and you relist it, it's showing up as a newly listed item. So people that are searching by newly listed could find it, but I don't know if that's like a great business strategy to get your sales up. But switching up the title and description, title could definitely help you out. RFC also says Reader's Digest is not worth the space they take up. Oh, you're killing me, RFC, with that one. I want the Reader's Digest to be valuable again. Let's see. Jessica Rich says, I find Reader's Digest sell better as decor. Yep. To the Etsy and the Instagram people and the mid-century modern designers. But historically, booksellers have been donating them or recycling them for about the last 15 or 20 years, probably. RM Dryer Buccaneer says some Walt and Skizik's Gasoline Alley books, possibly 1940s tie into the newspaper strip. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool mid-century.
You never know.
Art comic kind of stuff. He said there's about a dozen, but I think I made a good contact for later. Oh, speaking of contacts for later, that brings up something good. Oh, and we got STL Bookkeeper in the chat. Everyone, please go check out our buddy Wardell at STL Bookkeeper. He has a YouTube channel and a very successful whatnot seller as well.
Yeah, he may need to come back on for interview too, because I know
he
had him on. Yeah, we had him.
We've never. No,
not
we've never
here.
had him. I don't think so.
Just because he's such a remarkable story, and came from out of nowhere.
Yeah,
came from out of nowhere. Sells a $2,000 Hemingway book in the first 30 days of learning about books, and now look at him go. So we're gonna have to bring him on in 2026.
Now he's buying like 1,000 magazine collections and selling for 4 or 5 hours straight on whatnot almost every day. It's insane. It's really insane. Jessica Rich is Tramp's Little Ladies. She also just bought a bunch of stuff for me today.
Why are these ladies why are they all stalking you? Why are they stalking you, Kent?
I don't know.
They must know you're single.
They know I'm getting great books on, they're getting great deals on whatnot, and I want to come check out my YouTube. So yeah, and they think they know I'm single. I am single, so
single and ready to mingle.
Yeah. RFC says we Tilted Books are hitting a milestone next month. We are doing a booth at an antique mall. I love that idea. I kind of want to get back into I don't really have time for it, but I want to get back into renting booths at antique stores. I did that for quite a few years.
Can we do a special Pick Our Brain Zoom call where everybody comes in and we can see their face?
I think I could post the link on my Instagram and Facebook and Discord.
We can use my Zoom account.
I know, but we still need to get these people's the people the link.
Yeah, okay.
Which actually, you know what? I think I could probably post the Zoom link in the YouTube chat. Yeah. I could probably do it right now, but
no, we don't.
Some other day.
No. Guys, they'll get mad if we do it now.
In a couple weeks, we'll announce it. We want to do a meeting with all of you that you all can come into and hang out. Max, that's best idea. Can you write that down? Can you text me that?
Let everybody know I am the idea man, though.
That was a brilliant idea. And Jennifer says that she's stalking us both, Max. So we got a stalker.
Do I have to give her more books? I don't want.
Yeah. Okay, so back to what Ryan Buccaneer, because he had a great point, is that maybe it's not going to be the most profitable deal, but it creates a contact. And that's why I told you, I think it was Friday night, someone that works at an estate sale company called me and said they had like 20 totes of books and I could come just make an offer. And she sent me some pictures and I said $50 for 22 totes. Cause it had been picked over. It was like keto cookbooks and I don't know, mediocre romance and stuff. Very unexciting, but there was 20 totes of it. Yeah. So I offered him $50 and I went and picked it up. And you're like, but when I was telling you about this, I'm like, well, this is trash. I'm not going to make any money. I'm going to save it for my $1 book sale. I might put a few in the bookstore, but nothing worth selling online. And you said you need to go pick this up because next time they call you, they might have good antique books that they want to get rid of after a sale. And actually, I told her, hey, reach out to me before the sale because I would like to buy the collection before the sale, before it's been picked over.
Right.
But it is really important, just like Ryan Buccaneer said, you need to do some of these deals and get the juices flowing, and people that are around books and around estate sales, because they will reach out to you in the future.
Right.
And maybe even treat them extra well the first time you're doing a deal.
Right. And Paper Golders have heard me say this time and time again, but I never say no, because it's not just about them. If you pick up their books, they're going to tell their friends.
Yeah, because the estate sale people do not want to mess with this stuff.
Right.
I offered her $50 and she's like, yep, come get them. Like, I think I could have said like, hey, I'll take them for free. And she would have took, like, because that's the estate sale people look at the books as the junk, as the worthless stuff. They have the fine antiques and furniture and jewelry and coins that they want to sell. And the books are a nuisance because at the end of the sale, 95% of the books are left afterwards. So that a lot of them would gladly let you come buy them all before the sale. So that was great advice from Ryan. Do you want to talk about your Doyles?
Let's talk about Doyles next week, only
Okay.
because we have a little bit more time and we don't, and I think you also wanted to talk about the antique show I did last Wednesday.
Yeah, huge.
So let me put that out at the forefront first, and then next week we can go talk about Doyles. But yeah, I did I did what I thought was going to be a fairly easy antique book show, my second one specifically. And the first one, I think I did 50 books or so. Ken, I don't remember, about 50 books.
I think it was a little more than that, but yeah.
Okay. And then so the second one, I said, well, let me go for 100. 100 antique books. 80 of them were pre-listed and 20 were going to be mysteries. And we had an insane amount of pre-bids. We had them up for 3 weeks. We had an insane amount of pre-bids. But it was a 3.5 hour show. I will never do that again. Those books are cumbersome to work with, so it takes a little bit extra time. So I already did plan out the one in December, but that's going to be 50 books and then 20 pieces of antique ephemera. So we're going to do 70, but with ephemera, it's not so cumbersome. You get, you can show it quick and move on from it. So yeah, it was a very good show. Very excited about it. Ken had done the first one, I want to say 3 or 4 months ago.
I think it was in October.
October. Yeah, okay, so then I did mine in November, my first one in November. Yeah. So Kent and I are, for lack of a better term, we're still trailblazing what can happen on Whatnot. And sometimes I take from him and sometimes he takes from me, and we work together and do things together. That's why we do pick our brains. But I think Kent and I both feel very strongly in 2026 that we're both going to stretch the parameters and what people think can happen with books on Whatnot.
Well, and I will, like, this Max's sale and my big sale before that, and my big sale coming up, and Max's book sale coming up, he did 100 better quality books. There was nothing under like a $20 book. Right. And there were some like $200, $300, $400 books. So that was the goal, is to put together way in advance and like a book sale of really, really good stuff to see what you could do. And what was your number? I don't know if you want to share it, but what was your total?
I'm transparent. Just over 4,700 in 3.5 hours.
So for 100 really good books, a $50 average, that's amazing. Yeah. I was just thinking the other day, because I'm doing my big sale December 2nd, and I'm bringing like Alice in Wonderland and Poe and fine bindings and antique medical books. Everything's really good condition. I was thinking, would it be possible, or how difficult would it be to do a $10,000 Whatnot sale? That's $100 books, which is like, I don't have $100 books just casually laying around. So it would take a long time to source that kind of stuff.
Or $50, $200 books.
Yeah, because we do $1,000 sales, $1,000 Whatnot sales pretty regularly. In a couple hours, we can sell $1,000 pretty regularly. But you're talking about selling for 2, 3, 4 hours and selling all high-end stuff. There's some people that can only afford to buy $100 book and then they're done. But there's definitely, me and Max have discovered, there's some people that can spend $400 here with Max and then $300 with me and then $200 the next day and $500 the next day. And they can definitely afford, but the average Whatnot buyer probably is like, wow, my credit card's getting kind of maxed out. Like I need to take a break. I think that's pretty regularly on Whatnot.
As Nicholas Bazabanes wrote in his beautiful book, it's just a gentle madness.
True. I would like in 2026 to do a $10,000 Whatnot sale, but that would, I mean, it'd be tough to get that valuable of books ready and then to sell for hours and then the shipping afterwards would be.
Yeah, I was physically exhausted the next day. Physically exhausted.
But also, like, if you could do $10,000 in a sale, like that could be your half a month worth of work. That could be 2 weeks worth of work and profit.
Well, we've talked about this before because I did that one 7.5 hour show that one time.
Yeah.
A year ago. And we said, you know, you can do one show on a Sunday for 5 hours, do a 5 hour show, sell a boatload of books, make a few $1,000s, and then you don't have to work till the following Sunday and just repeat it. So
you can do it once a week. Yep, once a week.
You can work 52 days out of the year, work every Sunday on Whatnot, 5 hour shows, and you're just going to be physically working 52 days out of the year.
And one of the things me and Max would love to do in 2026 or whenever we can is to have like a closed bookstore, a bookstore that closes and to sell all their inventory or someone's collection that could be big enough for us to travel to sell for 3, 4, 5 days straight, sell for 8 hours a day and like liquidate someone's collection and see like what that could be like, because it could definitely be crazy. I know Max likes selling bundles. I don't, but
no, I call them Kent killers.
Yeah. So if anyone has a collection that they want us to sell and it would be worth, I mean, we could potentially travel or me and you have both been doing with multiple consigners, them mailing us boxes or even pallets. You've got pallets of books from people or truckloads of books from people to sell. So
and
definitely on the agenda.
We have one more great question, then we can close it if you want.
Okay.
I don't want to jinx us, but Art Turner has us a very important question.
Oh, I see.
And I'm going to have you talk about it because as much as you and I talk about it, you are much more well-versed than I am in the tribulations and trials of it. But Art Turner wants to understand about any premier seller news from us.
Well, the goal is here in about a week and a half. Me and Max will both be premier sellers as of December 1st, hopefully. So to be a premier seller on Whatnot, you have to have $50,000 in sales for the last 3 months. And me and Max were fine with that. We hit that months ago. But then Max had like a report on his account for doing something for selling an offensive item, an offensive book. He had a report. So that was one thing holding Max back. And then he met that. And then he wasn't at 80% quality listings,
which we never knew before. Isn't
required to do a quality listing. You don't have to enter the condition, but to be a premier seller, you do. So me and Max have been working hard the last 2.5 months to get our quality listings from like basically 0% up to we're at like 90+%. You have to be at 80%. So we are on track to qualify to be premier sellers on December 1st, in which case we'll get a fancy little badge. We will save 1% on our fees, and we will hopefully, the biggest thing is it does boost you in the search results and in like the category. And when people log in, like the premier sellers are the first people that they see.
Something extraordinary would have to come from out of nowhere to prevent us, I feel, at this point.
Yeah, I do worry about like even selling a copy of Uncle Tom's Cabin that's about anti-slavery, like that someone could report you. And like, even though it's not really, I don't know. That's something that like I'm trying to be very careful, not sending any dirty emails. I'm still spamming people and messaging, but
you're gonna get shut down. You're gonna get shut down.
Hope not. Hope not. You're talking about selling a interesting book. Maybe you didn't sell it today, did you? Okay.
I can show it if you want.
You can. Maybe not. No, I don't want that on my YouTube, but thank you. Oh my God. It's a certain kind of cookbook that, you know.
Kinda
anarchist might like.
cool. Yeah.
Good. Okay, we got a couple more questions, then we're wrapping this up. Jessica said that she's at an antique mall with books as well, and RFC wanted to know how's it going. Oh, and Jessica said she sells a little bit of everything, including books. Months vary. Last month was awesome. This month is slower. Yeah, the antique malls in Wisconsin, well, specifically central Wisconsin, have been really, really struggling. Primitive antiques are way, way down. I think like vintage toys and retro stuff is hot as ever, but the antique stuff is probably a little lame. But if you do comic books and vintage toys and video games, that's probably a hot market. Blah, 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 blah. RFC says 50K in sales or just inventory. No, 50K in sales for the last 3 months. STL Bookkeeper says trolls sometimes do strange things. And then Jessica says, I know someone looking for that, Max. Oh, Jennifer says she's knows someone looking for that cookbook. Well, they will have to go on Whatnot and
Get it. Well, just Jennifer, just get in touch with me
yeah, send a Common Ground Finds a message on Whatnot.
without saying the title.
Do you want to promote your Whatnot?
I have some late breaking news.
Okay.
And we have some new people in here, so this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
You can read that, right?
Spot is open. Oh, wow. One spot is open on Paper Gold. So if you want to sign up to a really cool, the best book selling community, lots of very knowledgeable people, whether you want to know something about a rare book or how to sell on Amazon, eBay, Whatnot, Etsy, Pango, anything, sell back companies, bookstores, sourcing, all that stuff. Go to patreon.com, search Paper Gold, and sign up. It's $20 a month. We have 3 weekly meetings. You don't have to go, but they're very interesting, informative meetings. And there's a Discord where you can ask all of your questions.
Beautiful. That's all I got for today.
Yep. One last thing, Jessica says Mid-Century is where it's at. Yep, agreed. Mid-Century is the hottest selling stuff too. All right. Thank you all for a wonderful show. This has been a great one.